Howdy, Play the Gamers, it's Eric back here coming at you with another video. This will actually be my first video since my introduction video, so I thought, what would be a good video to do? Then I decided I think I would do this theory about Orgone that I have because it's one of my theories that I'm actually most proud of, and it actually came from a hint that was given to us by Ben a few years ago that nobody really picked up actually. Hopefully right now I'll just pull up a little screenshot for you of the Worlds Collide music video, and you can see it's a little dot. It goes into a line and then splits. On the right arrow it says Aether, left arrow it says Got, and the bottom it says Cosmic. I'm bad at pronouncing things. Cosmic Orgone energy. And of course, upon the googling of me and a friend of mine, come to find out Orgone is this energy that it's kind of through all things. It's everywhere. It flows. It's in living things and dead things and inorganic things all together. And I thought, well, what could this have to do with zombies? And then my immediate thought was the MPD and the zombies, because I always was curious. I was like, how does that work? Because zombies, most of the time, can have a scientific explanation for things, at least, that's not completely far-fetched to the point that you could kind of believe it, because that was what really got me gripped at first, was the almost connection to science was really cool. But I think it's interesting because if this flows through all things, maybe that's how the MPD controls the zombies. And that's how the zombies thrive without, like, I don't know how, without organs always being intact and things. That's how zombies still thrive. And it's this, maybe this energy that just flows through them and can be manipulated by the MPD to some point. But how do we know that's the truth? Well, you can go back and look at a transcript I hopefully have pulled up right now of the Die Easter egg. I think Richtofen's side, he mentions a vital energy flows through all things, and he has a very limited control over it. So at that time I was like, per se, let's say that Richtofen was to use these towers to manipulate his energy of Orgone even further, to make him be able to control other things in the universe that Orgones flow through, not just zombies. Now, at this time, this was just a little bit past Mom of the Dead, I think. It's actually a thread on the forums, too. I hopefully remember to link it. If not, sorry. Orgone is like this all-flowing energy, and other than the MPD, it can still relate to our story a lot, because imagine it as this energy that is everywhere. Like the Aether is a dimension of Orgone. All Orgone in the universe flows through the Aether and back out. Think of it that way. And the MPD is a portal into the Aether, so the person in the Aether can manipulate the Orgones in the universe to control the zombies, control people if powerful enough, as we've seen in the Buried Endgame Richtofen's side, or even, I don't know, open an interdimensional gateway, as Max explained to according to his diary entry. He says that he could control energies he says that the key to opening a gate to another dimension is controlling energies, which is interesting to say the least. I think where we should look out for it in the future is the machine on the Nuketown loading screen. I know there's not a lot of stuff about that right now, but I find it odd that it's getting this energy from the Earth and there's energy being beamed into the machine. I just always thought that those towers could have meant more than they did, and it really all matches up with the Nuketown loading screen, but I have no idea. That's not future-proof. It's just me theorizing. I think it's really prominent now because when Maxis takes control without the MPD, I think that's a very interesting thing to look at. Or whether it's Samantha back in control, we don't particularly know. But I think it's an interesting thing to look at, that apparently without the use of the MPD, Maxis is taking control of zombies. And Orgone explains that a lot, because if he could use the towers to increase his manipulation of Orgone rather than Richtofen's, he could overdo Richtofen's being in the MPD and control the zombies himself, as well as any other Orgone in the universe. And maybe the Orgone that he's planning on using, he's going to open up a portal to wherever Samantha is with it and get her back. That's the only way I could see this explained. And another place Orgone comes up is in Dark Baby, the theory video that Ben made. He talks about people being brought back when they eat the zombies. The zombies eat other zombies and turn human. And I find that interesting. And I find that interesting because what could cause this? He says it isn't the first time it's happened, and to think about Orgones. So I thought, what if Orgone is almost a healing energy? It heals you. It keeps you healed. It keeps you fresh. It keeps you young. Not only would it explain the fact that they turned back into humans, But then we go back to the VR11 on Call of the Dead, and you think, well, that was real. So what if, and this is a pretty far-fetched theory, what if orgone and real energy is the same thing? Like, orgone energy is real energy. It's just two sides of the same coin, two words for the same thing. When you think of real, you think Argotha. If the real are from Argotha, then maybe the reason Maxis wants to get to Argotha is to release orgone energy or get to a huge deposit of orgone energy, because that's the only place in the world there's enough orgone energy to open up a portal to wherever Samantha is. Again, this is all just a theory. So at that point, we immediately think Maxis' plan is to go to Argotha and to get orgone and to use the orgone to open up a portal to Samantha. So now we know what Maxis' plans are. But the question is, if the orgone can be applied to people and it turns them back into zombies, what does it do to normal people? And that immediately makes me think the MPD, because a person in the MPD does not age. And I find that interesting. And I thought, maybe if the Aether is this kind of realm of all orgone, then they're healed being in there so they don't age. That's why Samantha didn't age. And that immediately takes me to another thing, which is the zombie souls in the Easter egg on Moon. Talking about the MPD, how they fuel it. Maybe these souls are just the orgone energy of zombies, and the MPD is powered by orgone energy, but at the same time utilizes it. I don't know. We'll have to find out, I guess. But anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble here for a minute. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like for Play the Game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.